Not a meme but a funny happening today at the range. Me. Go shooting with my buddy. I brought about 10 guns and we're winding down for the day. See that the range has a section for buckshot. Bring out my 12-gauge muzzle-loading shotgun pistol, it's called a Diablo if anyone is interested. Load it up and let my friend shoot it. He pulls the trigger and the fucking barrel flips down like some Looney Tunes gag. Eventually get it to stop doing that. Load it with about 1 ounce of birdshot. Kaboom. My buddy fucking loves it. He gets an idea. Double the amount of birdshot. I pull the trigger. Kaf-woo-oom. Much louder this time. Where we're shooting is close to the parking lot and half of the car's alarms go off. We look down the firing line and everybody is looking around. Decide to do it again. Kab-woo-oom. More car alarms. We were laughing our asses off about to do another when we heard fire. MFW, we actually started a small brush fire. Thankfully no one yelled at us and they put it out. Quickly pack up and leave. Pick related. You wouldn't believe some of the stuff they do to screw someone over when it comes to ammo. Me. At LGS hoping to score some ultra-high velocity .22 LR to test out a heavy recoil spring I got for my Bubbed 22. In line behind some boomer buying some nylon fishing line that was in the 12-gauge ammo shelf for some reason. Behind him is some pseudo-emo semi-goth chick who looks like she just shoplifted all her clothes from a Hot Topic. MFW, she looks at me with a scowl and says I look like a fag who listens to Spitfire. I didn't even say anything or stare. Retort with yeah well that choker looks like ass and then some. Smooth. She flips me off and approaches the counter. She wants one of those fake blood-splattered green zombie shotguns. Says it would look killer hanging in her pad. While doing a background check the clerk asks what ammo she wants and recommends birdshot. They clearly had an abundance of it. She calls the clerk a dumbass and says it's an authentic wall hanger not a home defense gun. I'm up. Before I even ask the clerk he says just a heads up we ain't got no 22. Ask if he might have some in back but he just tells me they only have .22 short and .22 extra long. Whatever that is. Start to leave and the guy behind me asks for a box of CCI 22. As I'm walking out the door the clerk says yup just got a shipment this morning. I eventually wound up losing the heavy spring disassembling my .22. Fucking gun stop. Does it count if the clerk bamboozled himself? Me, Eurofag. Find H&KSL7 at LGS. Erection.gif. Stock is kinda beat up, but all the steel, bluing still looks brand new. Price tag says €800. Talk the clerk down to €550. Do paperwork, pay and leave. Return to pick up rifle a month later after the relevant authorities had processed and approved all the paperwork. Walking out with rifle. Clerk yells hey, wait a minute. He hands me a new in-the-box original 10-round mag for the rifle. Tells me I can have it for free because it's been gathering dust on the store shelf for 2 decades. Thank him. Go home. Try to order additional mags online because the rifle only came with a shitty little 3-round hunting mag. Realize that the 10-round mags are unobtainium and cost like €200–300 each if you ever find them for sale. Old price tag on the mag I was given for free says €15. Clerk probably didn't realize how much it was worth. Me. Think a bit at closest local indoor because poor. Suddenly feel a thud in my chest and wonder is this how I die? Suspecting a heart attack for just a fraction of a second. Realize someone is firing an unholy hand cannon. Look around and notice rental trio of what appears to be father, son, and mom, or some similar variation. Son is holding Super Red Hawk rental, must be .454 from the thud and the look of sheer terror in his eyes. See him hand it limp-wristedly to mother and immediately intuit what is about to happen. Mother doesn't hesitate for a second, shoves the monster in her hands forward without an ounce of thought or taking a moment to comprehend what she is doing. As she begins to pull the hammer back, the gun begins to sway because she isn't strong enough to pull it back and hold the gun with any stability. Before I can shout fucking stop, the hammer slips and the roof tile directly in front of her has turned into a fine dust. Without so much as wondering why she hit the roof or that maybe it was bad to shoot something she had absolutely no control over, she goes for round 2. This time the swaying has turned into a wild shake. I can only assume her nervous system has taken over her body at this point and her brain is completely disabled. Again the hammer slips and there is a thud. Chips of cement fly off the floor directly in front of the stall and spray out, scattering splatter across multiple targets. Boomer RSO is already in full sprint. Boomer Mom isn't fucking done yet. Every sane person in the range is currently in the middle of vocalizing some form of curse or command to put the gun down. She doesn't give a single fuck. The swaying shaking begins again as she attempts to pull the hammer back again. This time the gun looks like it's been possessed and is in fact shooting her, pointing wildly in many directions. Boomer RSO finally reaches Mima and shoots son, father a look that cursed in 32 languages. I should write up some of my stories sometime. I think I've had 7 to 8 NDs in the 10 years I've owned guns. I'll post one now. Be me. I've had multiple NDs at this point, so I don't keep any of my guns loaded besides my Roland G17. Wake up, kinda hungover and half asleep. Grab my G17 on the nightstand. Line up the dot to dry fire it. He goes through my wall and into the bathroom. Luckily no one was home. Patch the hole and always check stuff is loaded from then on.